Nevertheless, in hopes we wouldn't say it first, but truth must be told. Get him in here. Ride by. Peace.
And the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lekker. Peace.
Young
Be unto you.
TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, Robot. If you're in the building and you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking to you about the reptilian ori and how does it play a part in the ascension. Keep in mind the reptilian ori. Shout out Baltimore, Mike. Shout out Mike in Baltimore, man. Keep in mind the reptilian oris are the ascended reptilian beings who created religion. Keep in mind a lot of the stuff when we that we be talking, it's not a religion. When we talk about Michael and all that, that's not really religion. Religion was created by reptilians, oris. They need the worship to ascend. They need you to lift them up. We don't need the worship as Anunnakis. As Natharus, we didn't need worship. We developed mechanisms to be able to ascend. And like I say, that's we're gonna get into the ascension information, but it goes all the way back to these beings being trapped on a sixth dimension that are amber-like beings, right? And they utilize beings on the third dimensional level as their preachers, their reverends, their rappers, to promote their agenda. What is their agenda? They need us to stay under them so we can be continue to be a source of energy. If you read in Zeal and Revelations, it talks about the people giving their power over to the beast, right? Over to the image of the beast. So that is a form these beings worship. They said they worship the image of the beast, right? They worship the image of the beast. Shout out, yeah, how's it going? I can't see his name. I think it's Go Me something. Yeah, so no, you good, bro. You good. So it says that they worship the image of the beast. What does that mean? And they give their power over to him by worshiping him. So these beings, they created religion, these reptilians. That's why you see the Pope wearing a fish hat, the nomos, right? Nomos is just one fraction, because these one particular group of nomos, they work for the reptilians, these Alelu's gang, right? In the 144,000 deal with the children. So you got to keep in mind, and they need the energy and they need the food source, because some of these beings consume human flesh, right? So you got to keep that in mind. But these higher amber light beings who are trapped in this dimension, they want to get up to from the 6 up to the 7. And keep in mind about the King James Version of the Bible being 66 books, 6 books taken out. Like Baba pointed out, giving you 666. We're going to have to repost those tapes called Holy by Bill. Holy by Bill. Check that out, man. So people out here, they mad at me because they're saying, oh, he trying to say I'm going against the Most High, right? I'm going against Anu, right? By teaching what I'm teaching, right? And the master teacher was already on this journey, but people wasn't ready to handle it, And so he put out tapes like Holy by Bill. People still going at asking these religious questions. It don't got nothing to do with religion. That stuff that was brought over here to this Western hemisphere from the East. They brought their popes over here with a religion. We didn't have none of that. We had spiritual science that was taught by Tahuti all over the globe as Nubian people. But I'm going to tell you what people are missing. They missing the reptilians' plan called the Spanish Inquisition. That was a reptilians' plan to take us off our original path. And they created, they needed worship. They needed this worship. We never even mentioned the word. We never even mentioned the word. We didn't need their worship to be ascended beings. The Dragonian reptilians are one that created reptilians. That's right. It starts in their own clan. It starts in their own clan, because that's what happens. If you go back and watch the Ascension Manual classes in the playlist, and you listen to the first tape, it talks about why we chose to ascend. As we were developing in technology, the reptilians were becoming more religious, and we were becoming more scientific, and that's where the split happened. Now they got left on. Actually, we kicked them off the 7th to the 6th dimension, and we ascended to the 7th, back to the 7th, right? We was living on the 5th in Malakut, right? But we ascended to the 7th and passed them, right? Now they're mad that we won't give them the information to be able to ascend on the same plane as us. And so they had to resort to other methods, as in worship of the humans. They need humans to worship them. Worship, keep in mind, worship. Shout out Jeff Lewis. Here we get to Hala. Hala was the 5th dimension. When we got down to the 5th dimension, right before we ascended, we got down to the 5th dimension. If you go down to the 5th dimension, that's when Hala, and we kicked Hala. We fought him in the 5th dimension and kicked him down to low limbo, right, the center of the earth, which is a temple there down in Shambhala. That it's like a trying to think of a word I can describe it as. It's like a mental state, and they refer to it as hell, right? These beings, because they trapped there. They trapped there under. If you go watch a movie called Immortals, when they come down, when the beings come down and stop these beings from getting out of this box, the dude got an oral bow, like the Arpus bow. I can't remember the real name of it, but he let it go, boom, and then let these beings out of this trap. They trapped in this gold Kaaba underground. Our eyes is short for the originals, because the reptilians say that they were the originals here. They were the originals, and that the Anarchies is breaking galactical law by not sharing certain types of information with them. like the information about how the universe is populated, and that this galaxy is populated. The humans on this planet is not the only humans in the galaxy. It's thousands, if not millions, of planets that's populated with other types of humans. Some might be ahead of you in advanced technology. Some might be still behind you in technology, right? So there are agreeable reptilians in there. Yeah, that's right, Mark. There are disagreeable reptilians and they are agreeable reptilians. Keep in mind when the Anunnakis came to Earth, the reptilians they made a deal with, Inky's side, was said to be agreeable, and they didn't want to work with the Anunnakis because they considered the Anunnakis as being disagreeable. And then this plays out where the family is bombing and bombing each other. Right? This plays out where the family's bombing each other. Inky also talks about it in this book about how they the family dispute. Right? Yeah, so it's good. It's agreeable. It's three natures in each clan. You got agreeable, disagreeable, and then you got a combination of the both, which is they call the neutral zords. And most of the nomos were neutral zords. They helped us at one point, and then they turned against us, started eating us at one point. But the nomos, Cyrus B reptilians, and the Nagas are different from the Dragonians, even though they come from the same origin, right? That's right, Street Man. That's right. That's right, Street Man. Since I feel like the resonation with especially angels coming down sound like it's time to the ground going. Yeah, shout out my baby kids in the building. King Baby. Yes. Another thing. So we're dealing with we're dealing with interdimensional beings. Interdimensional, these reptilians are the interdimensional. Now some of them, like I say, on the fifth dimension, can slow their vibration down to come here and materialize onto a lower vibration. But it's really against galactic law. And in order to stay in this dimension, they got to consume physical attributes like flesh and blood. That's why they have these rituals every month. These beings and these reptilians, they're using most of the time they ain't gonna come here in their original form. When they come here, they shade shift into a human looking. But sometimes this what it is they got a high level of telepathic abilities where they can make themselves appear as human, but when a malfunction occurs, right? Because it's hard for them to do it in the sunlight, right? When the malfunction occurs, they shade shift back into their reptilian, so it's hard for them to hold their form, especially when they smell blood. When they start smelling blood, that's how it's hard for them to hold their form. They show you in these vampire movies, man. Go watch the vampire movies, because the vampires is the children of these beings, some of these beings. So when the vampire smells blood, it's hard for them to control themselves. Just like when these reptilians, when they smell blood, it's hard for them to control themselves. And they start malfunctioning and going back to what they originally looked like. Now, a lot of them here, due to the increasing of the going to the solar age, got to either go underground or they got to leave and go to a place where it's going to be more conducive for who they are. Yeah, the Vulcans are some of the originals, ours. The Vulcans are some of the original reptilians, but the Vulcans are mixed, dark skin mixed with the Baba show them, Ty Nush and all them. They the Vulcans. They are humanoid looking reptilians with the pointed Arab looking ears and the thick eyebrows and the Willow's peaks. Yeah, the Lost Boys is just it. The Lost Boys. You know what I'm saying? You say it's chopping? It's chopping, man? It's just mixed with Hindu Big Bang. Yeah, drop your questions in the chat, man. We're taking questions and answers too. But we're talking about the Oris and why they need the worship to be to stay to ascend or get untrapped from where they at. When you worship the image of the beast and you give your power over to the beast, and it's all these false gods that they created. They created all these false gods, which are really gods. Some of them are actually existed as beings who was lifted up and worshipped as deities once they transitioned to the afterlife. And it goes all the way back, connecting with the Anunnakis coming. A lot of all of us got Hindu in us because the Moors, the tribe of Shabazz. Yeah, Grand Rising, everyone. Shout out Sheikah Jackson, Crip Walk. Shout out my C's. Shout out my C's, man, in the building. So it's 2024 supposed to mark the end of this. No, 2030. 2030 is the completion of the end of the reptilian contract. 2025, we'll start to see. Right now, we're in the stage 2024. This is the deja vu. I mean, it's a glitch. It's a glitch in the matrix. 2024 is when, keep in mind, the parasites are being removed. So as the parasites are being removed, they're screaming and scratching and trying to stay alive as we starve them out. So I was telling people the other day, don't go and don't worry about Christmas and all these holidays. They keep them in the game. And they running all these commercials on ads on get your American people. If you're a citizen of America, you could get $6,000 or you could get this amount of money and this amount of money. Why they study giving out money if they broke? If they broke, it's $31 trillion in the hole. Why are they trying to give everybody offer this money to people? Unless it's some kind of, because keep in mind, ain't nothing in this world pretty. It's always small print in the bottom. It's always small print. And in the small print, it says, once you get this money, you sign your physical body over to, you pretty much selling your body to us. So we can keep the T-bonds going and do the human trafficking. Right? You're pretty much selling your body. Yeah, everything's a business. It's not personal. Nothing. These guys don't take stuff personal. It's business for them. So what they're doing is they're saying we've been making a certain amount of money off you every month through the T-bonds. But now we're willing to offer you a percentage of the money we're making if you agree to stay in the T-bonds. Right? We're going to offer you $600 a month. How does that sound? $600 a month. And we even give you, we'll give you 25 points extra on your credit score. How about that? If you sign your body over to us for $600 a month. Now we're making $60,000-$70,000 off of you a month. But don't worry about that. You're going to get 10% if you sign your life over to us. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, so all this is all they kicking and scratching, and they offering all this money to Native Americans. You heard about the 1924 Snyder's Act, which is just that act, and all this ties in together. All this is part of the reptilian Ori's plan to keep us down under them and lowered in the fourth dimension, so that they can feed off of us and use us for worship and energy. And a lot of their priesthood is walking around on earth now. The ones that they preachers and ministers and stuff. They're the ones that still heavily promoting religion. The ones that because I figured it out. Once I started going to the churches, looking at the churches, the ones that still teaching religion, some of them starting to transition over. The ones you hear that's transition out of it, like Pastor Darby before they took him out, and it's a couple more other brothers like that Pastor Gino. I think he some brothers they adding the right knowledge slowly, putting it in there, but it's a lot of them just stuck in the Piscean age. They trapped, man. The Piscean is dealing with two fish, reptilian, the reptilian faith and belief, yin and yang, black and white, racism, white supremacy, black supremacy. All this is Piscean Ori's teachings, the belief system. That's why Bible said actual facts. Bible came out with all these different things, church. Yeah, so his brothers still up. These Ori ministers still up, pulling you into the pit. That's why they call it a pull pit, right? And they study teaching reptilian teachings. And then why it's called dogma. They call it dogma, right? They call it dogma. And they even put a book out with Albert Pike called Morals and Dogma. See, the dogma is the belief. The morals is Islam. It's Islam civics. The morals is how the right thing to do. That's what morals is. So it's Islam versus belief. You know what I'm saying? Not the religion Islam that they promote mainstream. I'm talking the order of things in the heavens, the guided canopy that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad mentioned. So they want to keep, the reptilians want to keep dogma, right? Dogma going. The worship of a beast and sending your energy up to these big people. And they told us don't worship your ancestors. They call that they mention that in the Bible as familiar spirits. Don't worship familiar spirits. Familiar is a Latin word for family, right? So don't worship your ancestors, and keep in mind the real God of the Bible, inking them, is our ancestors. So when they tell us, and inking them to us will be our guardians, our parents. So they saying don't worship your ancestors, and then they turn us over to some other god. They don't want us to honor the Anunnakis and honor the Tharus. They want us to honor Zeus, and if they change to Jazus, hail to the really it's Jesus, hail Zeus, hail to the Greek god Zeus, right? And they tell us, and they want us to worship not Enki. They want us to worship Zeus and Apollo and all their gods. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about. Yeah, they killed every single soldier. Them boys walked them down. Them boys, the Anunnakis walked them down, man. And them boys didn't have no Glocks or nothing. Them boys had plasma weapons, plasma Glocks. You know what I'm saying? With extended clips on them joints. And them boys, Russia came up in there and seen them. They said, damn, they saw these big, tall black people, or these Nubians. And they're like, damn, who is these people? They know who they was. These are Anunnaki. Bloom, bloom, bloom. They started shooting because they got scared. They started shooting. And then the Anunnakis got shields on. So that was a waste. Those little projectile type weapons don't work on them because they wear shields. So they pulled out their plasma Glocks, started bumping back at them boys. Them boys tried to take off running. Enlil told them to walk them down. Enlil and them walked them down. I'm telling you. Now, if they wouldn't have fired on the Anunnakis, they probably would have just hit them with the mind device that they use on Man in Black. They got that, the Anunnakis got that device to flash humans. So they'll flash them and then give them another memory so they won't remember. Yeah, so now how does the Anunnakis play a part into Because you say we ascended beings and these beings coming down to this dimension. The reason why the Anunnakis returned to this dimension, right? To see what was going on, because they checking on it. It's like a harvest, or it's like a checking on to see who ready to be graduate out of this school, who ready to ascend out of this school to the fifth dimension. Some people say we already in the fifth dimension, right? But not quite. The planet is still going through a cleansing phase before it can completely go into the fifth dimension. It's got to get rid of the loose ends. What are the loose ends? All of the DNA, the mitochondrial DNA and genetics that haven't evoluted to survive at this point is going to begin to fade out. And all the human DNA that haven't, we're in the fourth dimension now, right? The plane of mental plane. So everybody wondering like why they ain't setting up a community or why they ain't doing like this or that, right? It's because we ain't fighting a physical war. We won a physical war already. We fighting the mental war now. We got to get everybody, the intelligence got to be. Shout out he who is force. The intelligence has got to increase, but it should have been already increased by now. You should be already up to speed by now. And those who ain't, they're gonna get took out, right? Through certain methods, whether it be pestilence or whatever, like the Revelation say, they're gonna get took out, right? It says if keep it real. Yeah. Russia was, I believe, they end with the U.S. U.S. and Russia is the same people, I think. Yeah, our people perish for the lack of knowledge. So what you got to do is you got to honor your ancestors. Starting with your mother and father, and then going back. And if you go back farther enough, you go back to Enki. And if you go back farther enough, you go back to Anu. Most of all of you here are descendants of the Anunnakis. Hit me with that next question, man, because we're talking about the Oris. Like I said, the originals, reptilian clan, start coming down from Mother Huber. Mother Huber that's why it's a queen. Like in most reptilian clans, the queen rules the clan, because it's going back to Mother Huber as the queen of the reptilians, the mother of reptilians. They call her the mother. That's what they refer to her as, the mother. Shout out Lady Owl in the building, right? Says, will we have new up on that dimension? No, because once you go to the fifth dimension, we kick them out. See, we kick them out of heaven. See, you go back into Revelations chapter 12, verse 7. It says, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels, and the dragon prevailed not, and they was kicked out. So we kicked them out of the fifth, the top high dimension. They got kicked down to the third dimension. So once we ascend, that's why they hold these Oris or these reptilians are trying to hold us here. They want to keep us on the third dimension because they here. They want to trap us here because they here, right? So that's why they going around trying to convince us as the children of God, of the Elohim, to be bad like them, to be, disagreeable like them, right? So they can trap us here. They're using desire and fear to trap us here, to keep us on this dimension with them, because they got kicked out and they want us to stay here with them, like I say. But we got to get past the fear and desires in order to ascend out of here, past them. And once we get back to heaven, to the fifth dimension, right? Malakut, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, Malakut, then we don't got to worry about them no more, quiet, because they'll be still here. So what we're doing is we're trying to stiff arm or Heisman this third dimension, so we could go up a level. Yeah, the 3-3, which is really a mirror flip, right? 3-3 mirror flip. That's why they only went to 3. They only got 3, and they really don't got the third password. They made it up, right? So they only got 3. really they only got 2, like we say. They only really got 2. We gave them 2 degrees. And the third one, they made it up because they killed the master and they didn't get the password. That's what they said. That's what they say in their own teachings. But we got it though, right? Because they forget that Sukente Reto, who they say called Hiram McBiff, he wasn't the only Grand Master on the land. Yeah, you Hyksos came in and tried to get the password. They work for the Oris. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We kicked them out. See, it says Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. This is before the term religion. This is before the Bible. This happened. This took place way before it was even people writing shit down. So keep that in your mind. We kicked them to the 3rd dimension, and so they here. The devil people is here. That's why we having a hard time here. We got to get up out of here, and they pulling us down like crabs, making us worship something other than our own image and our own likeness. If we gods and God is in our image and our likeness, then God must look like what we look like. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. Hey, shout out Inanna. I don't know that. It's my first time. I might have seen that before, but I don't know. I don't know right off the top of my head now. This is Now, the Platinians not Canaanites. Now, I know why you're saying that, but the Platinians not Canaanites. The Canaanites are sons of Ham. Ham is son of Noah, Utnapishtim, who is son of Enki, who is son of Anu. So the Canaanites are children of God, of the Most High God. Tell him. Now, if you say Platinians, you might be referring to a certain group of Nautics. You could say, okay, the frugal is 3 different types. Of course, you got the ones that call Aldebarans. The Aldebarans. Now you can say they connected to the Plates, but Aldebarans is really in Arcturus. But the people who saying these Nautics, they really avatars. The ones that's saying they astral command, they really avatars for the same people. They really work for the Oris when you trace it back. Okay, all right. So the Alelu worked for the Oris. Alelu them use astral command as avatars. See, they would call them nobody people at first, right? Now, what happens is they were using the same type of device they use on Avatar, similar devices, but more advanced, like these rings you put around your head. They lived underwater on Neptune. They put these rings on their head, and they could transfer their consciousness to a body that was less water type, so they can go to planets without having to use the water, because they needed water for these nomos. They needed water for their ships and to live in a certain type of water. So what they Now that's based on the Bible. They cursed with leprosy, with albinos. They cursed to be albinos with no melanin. Yeah, they refugees. Yeah, Ashtar, it's right. They refugees. That's right. And what happens is when Nibiru passed by Neptune and caused a magnetic storm and caused a pull on the poles, it killed like 2/3 of the planet. And the ones that was in the devices, they got trapped into the other bodies, stuck in them bodies, and they couldn't come back to the original bodies, right? Because the original body, it's like when you go and shock some water with a whole bunch of fish in it. That's kind of like what happened. The fish float to the top, right? And so they couldn't go back to Neptune because their body was less watertight. So what they did at first is to go back to Cyrus B. They wasn't called Ashtar Command at this time. They went back to Cyrus B. They weren't even called Platinians. They were called the nobody people, right? Because nobody knew who they was. Nobody knew who they was because they weren't saying that they were nomos trapped in the avatars. So they went back to Cyrus B and hooked up with the original people, the Nomos, and that's how. And then they made them in exchange. They said they was gonna help them get their body types, get another body type. In exchange, they became known as the Airborne Regiment, the White Brotherhood, and they neutral beings, and they got their own agenda. Yeah, that's a higher level, Archangel. That's a higher perspective on going into what the Nomos taught the Dogons about the motion of the sun and the 12 star constellations. So that's the higher science on it. So it's in leading the command. No, Ashtar Command it got their own agenda. They separate from Enlil, but although they might do business, the Ashtar Command are these White Brotherhood ones. They work with whoever is down with their agenda, right? They work with whoever is down with their agenda, and it seemed like to me they is working with Enlil because Walter Plecker, Judge Ashley A. Royals, right? Homer Snyder, who did the 1924 Snyder Act. All these people Ashtar Command. They hybrids. Because Rod was saying they wasn't Ashtar Command, but Rod don't know that these people came down here and created. I don't know if you know this part. They came down and got hybrid children. These Ashtar Command guys got hybrid children. And the Kennedys is one of their hybrid children from Venus. These Venerians, they were coming here and having children born on Earth, right? So, like Mark Brady said, because Mark Brady taught us that he said, when you see them people that's high-ranking officials, they got white hair. He said, "Man, I'm Ashtar Command." And right, and once we put the research on it, we see it clear. So Homer P. Snyder, who did that 1924 Snyder Act, they trying to rob us about land. They got to be working with Enlil. Because Enlil is the God that promises people land that he never was gonna come through on. They still looking for land right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. He's the God that promised these people land that he was gonna take somebody else's land and give it to them. Right? So they still looking for land right now. And yeah, it is what it is. But like I say, it's 3 different types. Bible goes into in the Holy Tablets, and you can read the Holy Tablets in the link in the descriptions for free. He goes in and say that there are 3 different types of Caucasoids, right? 3 different type races. And we came to the conclusion that one of them is the Canaanites, right? And then the other one is the Adabarites, and then the other one is the Frugaloids. That was Jakub's drafted beings, who were really origin from all the same. Well, really they connected, all of them connected, but the Frugaloids and the Adabarites have similar origins. Yeah, hey, shout out Anana. Master Teacher already answered the questions. We just keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? We just here to, keep it going. Right? The Master Teacher already answered all the questions. He got 4,000 books out, and then he put his books in question and answer form. Like this book right here. I got a lot of books right here piled up. Keep it neat. Like if you read Bala's books, like if you see this right here is the Let's Set the Record Straight book, but you can see that how he say question, right? And he goes to answer all the questions. That's how Bala did his books. Like he asked the question, then he answered the question, right? So most of all his books is like that. So the Leilu is leader of that. Yeah, Leilu is who you calling Shiran. It's his avatar. Leilu, because they, like I said, they got trapped in them avatars. They were the nobody people. So being that they origin, not Leilu, but his family, because he married Queen Mir, their origin was Cyrus B, and they came to live on Neptune. So what they did is when they lost when their home got quarantined due to the war, they got sent back. They went back to Cyrus B to try to get the hookup. And keep in mind, Cyrus B is burned out because of Nubaru passing by and burning and draining the energy from it, right? So they became known as Ash Star. What happens when a star burns out? Ash Star. So the Ash Star command is really the Nomos, and their leader name is Hatan. But these, like I say, Alelu and them came back in the avatars and they was trying to find a home, and they needed to hook up. They had the same type of beef with the Anarchies, the similar beef. Because keep in mind, Cyrus B got drained by Nubaru, which I believe was a part of warfare with Murdoch. I believe it was a part of warfare because we was beefing with these guys. And then Neptune got a magnetic storm hit it, right? Which I believe is part of the warfare too. And so they both had the same quarrel with the Anarchies. These people destroyed our home type of thing. But I believe it was really warfare. I believe it was Michael coming after them. It was part of the war. So we ain't make accidents like that. We said I don't think it was an accident. But Bob say we did it by accident. So, but like I said, we had beef with these guys though. So it makes like, okay, all right, and maybe a new head that knew that something was gonna happen like this. So maybe it was designed by universal fate for the crash to happen. For these beings, because everybody they got took out. The Meldekians were the home center base. Meldek was the home center base for these disagreeable reptilians, and boom, they planet got took out. Neptune them was running game with the 144,000 with a Lelu them. Boom, they got hit. Titan, Pluto, all the planets that was involved with the disagreeable beings that will come trying to start this, whatever war, whatever. That's who all got attacked. Seemed like to me. And Tiamat, the Dragonians were here too. So Tiamat got attacked. And then they launched off 11 fighter ships and we smashed all of them. Right? So keep in mind, they saying that like the Cyrus B thing and then the connection with Ashar Command. Then they later on purchased, because they inherited a certain percentage of gold through Alelu. Alelu had 30%, well 15% because he made a 15. He really crossed Baal out, sold Baal out, left him hanging. So he was getting 30% cash in of the gold. So he had stuff to purchase. They went and got a planet in the Pleiades star system. They purchased a planet, like 2 or 3 planets. They started living on these planets. Right, and they started coming back to Earth, and then saying they were Pleiadians. They came from the Pleiadian star system. Nah, they ain't originally from Pleiadian. They originally from Neptune or Cyrus B. Yeah, so that's what it is. This is yeah, we can go on even on to a microcosmic. That's microcosmic information right there, quantum physics. Instead, you go into talking about cells and things. So you don't get, what? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's interesting. Telling the truth. That's interesting. If some beings coming to you, dark black beings, that could be your family from because like Bible said in the Holy Tablets on page 1, that a lot of you people come from beyond the stars. A lot of you people are from beyond the stars, and usually you come from in the month that you're born. Like, keep in mind, light, photon particles. We are photon particles, right? Photon particles is traveling towards the planet. That's why when you look up, you see stars. Well, that star energy is traveling towards the planet. Now, it might take a certain amount of time to get here, depending on the distance of the star, light years. But when the planet is aligned in that phase, that energy is being absorbed by the planet. And then your mother, when she conceives, is absorbing dust particles from the earth to create your body, but your solar being is coming from beyond the stars, coming from another star system as photon particles, right? Because we all light beings, right? We light beings, we gas beings, right? So, hey, shout out Anana. So boom, some of y'all come from Leo, some of y'all come from Polac, Gemini star system. Some of y'all come from Sagittarius, these different star systems, Aries, right? When the planet is in that phase, you incarnate here. Your energy hits the planet during that time of the phase, and boom, you come here. So a lot of y'all are etheric beings from some other star system that got sent here to experience a 3-dimensional or 3rd-dimensional reality. And the devil is really just a program who was part of this program or this hologramic reality as part of our like a training program. Once we get out of this phase, because like I say, the devil is down here, Michael trapped him down here. So once we get out of this reality of this hologramic God game, then we go and figure out, okay, all right, this is what it really is. The universe is one. It's all love. It's divine love. Because the Bible said on the 5th dimension, it's called the divine plane of divine love and divine reality, right? And divine truth in the 5th dimension, right? So you can't lie on the 5th dimension. Why? Because everybody's mostly telepathic, and so they're gonna hear you making up the lie in your head. So once we go to that dimension, ain't no more lies, no more sorrow. Because somebody asked me last night, say, man, when will pain and all sorrow go away? It's gonna go away once we ascend out of this 3rd dimensional reality. Or this, and we, like I said, we into the 4th really, because more people started to use we starting to get more spiritual and mental than being physical. Crime, all that's getting ready to go down. Crime is getting ready to go down. Crime is going to become more digital, right? Robbing you robbing your phone, or robbing you online. People gonna be robbing people online, man. They ain't gonna need it. People ain't gonna really use guns. They're gonna get ready to go extinct. Projectile type weapons, and they finna roll out the Demolition Man type laser weapons. They already got them. The military, the high level military, is already using plasma weapons to fight against these reptilians. I'm telling you, man. So they already got laser direct energy weapons. They've been using them since 1953, 1952. They had drones with laser direct energy weapons on them in 1952, the military. And that's how they were shooting the UFOs down. So the Y is a Lelu. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because the Y is only, I think who added the Y? In the genetic experiment, I think it was Tahuti. I think it was Tahuti that created the Y. That did the genetical slicing when they was on Mars at Shemsi, the laboratory on Mars. I know Tahuti was involved with that, and then Gazeta. Yeah, Mother Ninti, the 3 people that was involved on the Adam Project, the main 3 people, it was a whole bunch of people, but the main 3 people were Gazeta, Mother Ninti, and Inky. And then Damkina's Inky wife got involved. And I want to say Ariska Gale and Nergal got involved as well, which is Ariska Gale is Gazeta's mother. Yeah. Anana breaks that down in that book. We got any more questions? Because we like to do 45 minutes because people don't really watch a whole hour. It says, we're gonna try to hit you with 3 tapes today, man, back to back. Well, not back to back, but periodically through the day. But I had to come and talk about the auras because people are still talking about worshiping God. Anu don't need your worship. We got the type of energy that we should be giving Anu them and Inky them and the Natharus, our ancestors, is just honoring them. remembering them, right? They want us to remember them, not worship them. And remembering them and honoring them, you could say that's a form of giving them respect or something like that. But worship is a reptilian word trait, and we don't send prayers. We don't pray. They put the word pray in there. Pray is something that tigers do when they attack people, attack animals in the wild. We send messages. We send peace and harmony. We send telepathic signals, emails, mind mails to our ancestors, to the Most High. That's what we do. We don't pray. We send messages, right? So you got to keep in mind these word games. These words are spells. Keep in mind. So that's another thing we got to look at, because we stay in the devil's game with his word game. Because you got to keep in mind, they come out with the word game. So when you use certain words, it's like we still trapping ourselves into like hell low. Like when people greet people, they say hell low, like hell is low, right? Hell is low. We don't say hello. We say Rabbi. We say Assalamu alaikum. We say Shalom Aleichem. We say, you know what I'm saying? We got different ways of greeting in our own way, not hello, right? Or hola, they say in Spanish, hola, which is the same as hello. Hey, yeah, so it says, what is death? Death, there's no such thing. Death is on the spirit never dies. Your soul energy never dies. Death is only this body, you changing bodies. Now we got a Tamika, Miss Wright. If you go to our Ascension manual classes in the playlist and scroll down to what happens when you die, we put a whole tape out on what happens when you die. And it's not death, it's just the past. Pass to the never. That's why some people refer to it. They say, "Oh yeah, he passed away," right? He passed to what? He passed when you pass from the 4th to the 5th grade. They say you pass to the next grade. So to die means to pass to the afterlife, to the other world. Now, whether you go low limbo or high fifth, it depends on your heart. That's why we in ancient Kemet, we didn't weigh the brain, we didn't weigh the eyes, we didn't weigh the ass crack, cheek, we didn't weigh your cheeks, we didn't weigh the earlobe, right? We weigh the heart, right? Because the heart's gonna tell all in the end. The heart, your own heart, will bear witness against you and against what your intentions are. You got to have good intentions behind everything that you're doing. Just think about everything that you're doing. Is my intentions good in doing this? And if your intentions is good, the universe got your back. But if your intentions is bad, the universe is gonna come back to you. Karma is gonna come back to you. These folks don't be 1 second. Spanish Inquisition. Yeah, Spanish Inquisition. Studied Spanish Inquisition when they created all these words. Like I was just telling my wife the other day, like sell. You get the word sell as in selling a boat. Then you got the word as in sell, as in selling somebody something. Like it's SELL. Then you got sell as in SALE. So I'm like, damn, man, it's so many sales. Right? Then you got sell as in CELL. So the English language is a vast, it's to trap us down into some kind of reality where we confused. English language is confused. I'm telling you, man. It's too many words that sound the same. Yeah, sell. That's 4 different words on sell. No, yeah. Hey, it's happening now. Young Prophet, shout out to Young Prophet now, man. It's happening now. The transition is happening now. A lot of y'all becoming more intelligent. You'll be speeding up your vibration. You eat more healthy. You exercising. You converting more to the right. Like I was telling them people, at the Hebrew guys, like I was telling them, these people that's reading the Bible and say they keeping the laws and all that, they need that to be good. God's people got their laws in their heart. That's why we waved the heart in the ancient Kemet. God, he said, no longer would I write it down on tablets, no more I'm gonna write it in the hearts of men. So God people they ain't gonna, when they steal something, they gonna know it's wrong. Hey, you gotta go in now. Hey, when God's people steal something in your heart, you know it's wrong. When you do something that's wrong, you feel it wrong in your heart. But the devil's people, they don't feel that in their heart. So they need the Bible to be good. God's people don't need to read the Bible to be good. We naturally in our heart, we good people. Naturally in our heart. We ain't gonna steal. We ain't gonna rob and all these things, because this ain't in our energy. We God's children of the Most High God. Like people don't say he's still using the word God. The word God in this lecture is dog backwards, and this and that, right? Yeah, man, we just using the word God. Use whatever name you like, right? For what God is. God to us is the all. That's one of the terms we use, the all, the ultimate source of existence. Everything is God. You know what I'm saying? All the good energy and bad and neutral. Shout out to Mika Wright. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. We had an hour takeoff in this thing. We just want to bring, Kalum, the all. The all is. That's the ringing in your ears is a light code slowed down to a sound frequency. And if you really, your subconscious is decoding that like a Morse code. Your subconscious is decoding that ringing. It's really messages in that ringing that's on a higher frequency, right? If you notice, they got this device where you can control your dog, and it makes a whistle, but you can't hear it, but the dog can hear it, and they go crazy when they hear it. So you mash this button, and the dog goes, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear nothing. It's a high pitched sound, so high that your frequency can't hear, because a human only can hear 20,000 hertz. A human only can hear up to 20,000 hertz, right? I think it's 20,000 hertz. Put that in the Ascension manual, right? So, but a dog can hear higher frequency than you. And it's not because of, the dog is more advanced, because the dog is really less advanced. But it's just some in your DNA, the Anunnakis cut off certain things. Now, if you can hear that high pitch sound, you will be able to hear a whole bunch of conversations going on. If you can, also, you only can see a certain amount you can really see up into a certain amount of hertz, right? But a cat, actually, like an insect mouse, a mouse can hear 300,000 hertz. A mouse can hear 300,000. A little bitty insect can hear higher than a dog. And also, can we get into ascension, right? To start getting you into what we're talking about. A bat is really blind. A bat use ultrasound to see where it's going and to find just like a whale. A whale use ultrasound to send out waves. That wave bounce off some and bounce back, and they use that as to see. They see with sound. Bats see with sound. Whales see with sound. They call it sonar. And then the government, or Inky, because Inky was studying these whales, and he said, I could create a submarine and I could put this sonar on it, and they could be able to see just like a whale see underwater. That's why they even referred to what picked Jonah up as a whale, because a whale got sonar just like a submarine. We can break it down a little bit more for you. Yeah, we're gonna get into that, Black. Two 333 444. That's like computer. That's like a system sequence in the matrix. Yeah, echolocation, supreme consciousness. the whales use echolocation, and the bats use ultrasound. It's like a high frequency that they send out that bounces off insects, some small as an insect, and say, okay, that's an insect, so I can fly and eat it, right? And not only it's more sophisticated because not only do it tell them it's an insect, it even gives in that sound signal that they send off, it even gives a description of what they seeing in the sound signals. It says that, oh, not only is this an insect, this is the one that you like. This is a fly, or this is a mosquito, or this is it describes what it is in the sound. So how are they interpreting what they seeing through sound? Right? Just like we do, really, but they doing it with a higher frequency. This brother is. So it says that white. Hey, everything is part of the all. You can't get nothing out of the all and put it nowhere because it's all in all. I'm telling you. White, black, all it. That's why even the Ashtar Command, they part of the all. See what I'm saying? Like, so, like Anu said, when we get through with all this information and we get out of this third dimensional school, we go into there's no number but one. There's no number but one. Yeah, they weren't called Anunnakis until they came to the key, to Earth, or to Tiamat. Right. Oh yeah, this is the last question that I gotta talk to. Somebody asked me, what's the difference between Riskians and Anunnakis? The difference is the Anunnakis is just, the Riskians is only one group out of the Anunnakis. The Anunnakis is different species. It was 144,000 different species on Nibiru. The ones that got sent to Earth, it were different types of species. One Pacific group, the Riskians, you could say, would be just a new Inky, that bloodline. Then Ertu, Murdoch, they would be all the Riskians, right? But the other people that was helpers, they were from other galaxies, like the Pleiades of the galaxies, like Centaurian star system, right? So the difference between the Riskians and Anunnakis is the Riskians is only one group within the Anunnakis. That's the difference. So I had to answer that question as the brother asked it. So other than that, man, we out. We're gonna be back today, man. We're gonna have it. We're probably gonna post a class. We'll have it posted, whatever the next class in the time frame. Just come back and check with us sometime. Probably like in the next 2 hours, we'll be probably going live again. So peace, love, hotel, assalamu alaikum, shalom alaikum, ashug, wadu.
Never have it been made so clear.